All right, good morning, everyone. I'm going to call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Special Magistrate hearing. Verizon says it's 10 o'clock, so we can get started. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate for this morning's hearing. First thing I'm going to do is swear anybody who is here for any of the code enforcement items on today's agenda. I'm going to swear you all in at once, including town staff. So if you're able, if you could stand for me, please, and raise your right hands. Do you all swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. You may be seated. A little bit about process. It looks like both the items on the agenda are violation hearings or requests for extension. So the process will be the town will go first. They'll present any evidence they have, show me their evidentiary case file, which will scroll on the screens behind me. They'll call any witnesses that they intend to call. Once the town has concluded its presentation, it will be your turn to come to the podium that is in front of me, present any verbal testimony, show me any documents that you've brought, cross-examine any witnesses that the town has put on. Once I've heard both sides, I'll make a final ruling and you'll get a copy of an order that reflects that ruling. With that, I did review the April 7th, 2026 meeting minutes and I approve those as drafted. So I'll turn it to the town to call its first case.
Thank you, Your Honor. Christy Gott on behalf of the Town of Ocean Ridge. Your Honor, the first case on today's agenda is a request to extend the date for compliance. This is case CS 2024-010. This is the Ocean Ridge Yacht Club HOA. As you may recall, this is a case that came before you where they have the docks are in disrepair and they had to hire a contractor to start the whole process to design. And they are in the permitting process for construction permits at this point. And we're asking and we're agreeable to an extension of time for the compliance date, December 2026. Because they're continue to show good faith efforts to obtain their permits and complete the work. And if you need more information, town clerk can provide more information on the status.
And this one says a compliance date. It looks like there was a engineer's report and a complete the repairs portion of the order. Are you just talking about extending to complete the work?
Yeah, we've actually extended, I think, two previous occasions.
Correct. Yeah,
Okay.
they have done the engineer's report. They did that first, and then they've been working on getting the permits issued. As of right now, they've submitted 8 total applications, 5 of which have already been issued, and they're starting. The other 3 are holding for either payment or still in review, but they are showing in our eyes good faith.
Okay. And the current deadline looks like it's June, is it June 1st, 2026?
Yes.
Is anybody here for that case? Did the respondents make the request?
They did.
Okay.
And we told them that we were in
Yes.
agreement with them so that we would present it as an agreed extension of time.
Okay. So nothing in the way of service?
No, and
Okay.
I believe he signed it this morning or.
So you have a proposed order? Even better, thank you. All right, anything further? Do you need any evidence in the record for this or not? Probably
No.
not.
No.
Okay. All right, in case CS 2024-010, I've reviewed the stipulation for extension of time and agreed order, which extends the compliance date from the current June 1st, 2026 to December 1st, 2026. That's been signed by both the respondent and the town attorney. I will likewise sign the order as of today, extending that timeline. All right, next case.
Your Honor, the second case on our agenda today is initiated by the police department. It's case PD 2026-003. The property address at issue is 5910 Old Ocean Boulevard in the town of Ocean Ridge. The respondent, Bridget S. Van Arnhem. This is a case involving dune trimmings and dune plantings without a permit. We have our police officer here testify on behalf of that, and also the town clerk to testify regarding background information as well.
And officer, did you come in after I swore everybody in?
I did.
Could you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. On April 1st of 2026, I was assigned this case to follow up. The case was initially assigned to Officer Galuccio, who conducted the initial investigation and responded to the incident the day of. The day of, they were actively trimming the dunes, at which point he took a proactive approach and asked them to cease and stop trimming and pruning until they received proper permitting. He got a little bit of backlash that day, but to his knowledge, they stopped. The next day, we received notification that they had continued to trim and cut. Officer Galuccio conducted a second inspection and found that to be true. Photographs of that are in your packet. I don't know exactly which one it is, but they're in there from the body worn camera. I believe it shows it in. Just to give you a visual. Yeah. If you look at Exhibit B on your photos, you'll see that there's a red circle around. That was what was cut after they were warned to stop. It was assigned to me for a secondary review after this incident, which I found them to be in violation of 2 additional codes. I found that based on the method in which they trimmed the vegetation for it to be hat racking. The second thing, the windowing of the sea grapes was also in excess, so they were in violation of that. And as previously mentioned, they were still in violation of the trimming without the proper dunes. I also believe there's additional things going on in reference to planting and excess other things that I'm not privy to that went on beyond my initial investigation, which I think the town's going to have to attest to that. But
All right, and I know who you are, but just state your name for the record.
I'm sorry, Sergeant Pylon.
Thank you. And I'm sorry I referred to you as an officer.
That's okay. It's all changing. It's okay.
All right, Madam Clerk, do you have additional testimony as it relates to service?
No, for service, we had, it did get sent out initially, and it was also hand delivered, did get received. We sent a new notice of hearing when we changed the date. And screenshot of that was being delivered. So it did get delivered.
So you hand delivered an original notice of hearing and then the date changed, so you sent a secondary notice?
Correct.
Certified mail?
Correct.
And that was
That was
USPS confirmed as delivered?
Correct.
It was also posted on the property and up front in town.
Okay. All right, and walk me through the codes if somebody could. So I see the tape measures there.
Yeah, so I took photographs to, just to show that we were making sure that they weren't mature trees, that they were actually considered hedges under the statute, which they did meet that. And they also met the height requirement of the 36 inches or above. The issue is the window. In fact, they literally just kind of chopped it all away. And as you can look in, let's see what's a good view. On the side. If you can see the trees, there's absolutely no vegetation left on them. They're just pretty much just the stumps. Exhibit G, that gives a good, a good view of what it looked like after the fact. So the windowing issue came in there, and also the hat racking with how they just kind of just chopped them down.
And this is property on the other side of the road, but associated with
This is-
residential structure?
So it is on the east side, I'm sorry, the west side of the property on the beach side. So it's actually the dunes itself. Just west of that is the property. So they have obviously their property, then you cross Old Ocean, and then they have their beachside access, which that is.
But a residential structure, not a condo or just a single.
Correct. It
family.
is a
Okay.
single family home, yes. I will mention that the individual that is cited in this is the brother, supposed brother of the owner. But all of his information checks out there. He made mention that he was doing work as a family member at first, but then on camera said he was doing it for money. So there's questions to whether he's operating a business or whether he's doing it as just a family member helping a fellow family member out. Either way, he resides at that restaurant that residence per his Florida driver's license.
All right, it looks like you also have them cited for not getting a permit to remove. So there's no permit on
Right.
file with the town.
Correct. I don't know if he updated that or.
They applied. They were never issued a permit because they never got their contractor registered. So an issued permit was not, did not occur
Did they apply before the trees were cut or after?
before. But I did have communication with her explaining that it was not being issued until they were registered. That never happened, and then this happened.
And the code on the windowing section requires, can somebody explain that to me?
I believe this is the 30-60 or 40-60 rule where very similar to our last case, Ron.
I was just saying,
Last week. Yeah, so basically they can cut up to, I believe, they can cut up to 40%. They have to leave 60%. I don't see that code. Thought I printed it out. Second, so I can read it. Yeah, 30 feet. Well, it's basically just it basically talks about how much you can take out from another bush from the other bush. So it allows this to grow while this stays mature, and then you just kind of window them that way. That's the only way I know how to explain it.
And your assertion is that the way that they're cut and the way that they're shown in the photographs does not comply with the code?
This is exactly what the DEP ruled on the other case as well, as in violation of windowing as well.
And B6 is the hat racking code.
Correct.
And the trees that you observed and photographed, were they bigger than 3 inches in diameter?
Your Honor, some of them did exceed 3 inches, but very minimal. I mean, I didn't really pursue that at all, only because it was, again, it was very minimal. I mean, the trees are pretty, I mean, they're getting up there, but I think they've kept them pretty low for a while. So I don't think they're getting as big as like the last case we had.
All right, does the town have any additional questions for this witness or any other witnesses to call?
Not this time, Your Honor.
Is the respondent present? Nobody's present. Is the town heard from the respondent?
We heard from them last week. So the last time that I heard from her. Or was it last week? Last week, yes. On another case,
Okay,
but I don't know. Why they're
and
not
nobody's
here.
on the computer, right? Nobody's online?
Correct.
What's the town seeking in terms of remedy today?
Well, Your Honor, this is sort of a lot like the last case we have in that with the hat racking, the problem is it's irreparable. And so it's and they didn't get a permit, but we can't really, I guess they could get a permit for the things that weren't hat racked. So they'd still need to apply for the permit follow through and finish up that process. But then for the hat racking violation, we would ask for a fine of irreparable for $2,500 for the hat racking, and then for them to comply within 30 days to final out the permit process, which 30 days should be plenty of time if all they have to do is get their contractor or the brother to register, and then they can close out their permit.
Okay. And how does the registration work if the person is just an individual? It's not a company. Can an individual?
Normally, we register, it's businesses that do it. Or the homeowner would say they would do it themselves. They would sign a,
So there's an
Owner
owner builder
affidavit,
equivalent, basically option. Okay. That's sufficient for me in terms of just making sure that somebody can, because this isn't a commercial building or a condominium. All right, and what on the permit compliance, what fine amount do you want if they don't comply?
I would say $250 a day, since it's relatively easy compliance, but it is an important issue because it's on the dunes. And then the town's cost are $174.44.
All right, anything further from the town?
That's the next one. The next case. There's another case that started against him as well. That's what he's referencing, but nothing further, Your Honor, at this time.
All right, thank you. So with that, in case number PD 2026-003, I'll note for the record that the respondent is not present at today's hearing. I will enter the town's evidentiary case files composite exhibit 1 without objection. I'll find based on the notice documents in the case file, which include an affidavit of posting that the town had good service for this morning's hearing. I'll find based on the testimony of town staff and Sergeant Pylon that the respondent's in violation of section 66-161A, 66-161B6, and 66-161F2. For the violation of 66-161A, I'll require respondent to comply with that code section within 30 days of the date of my order, or a $250 a day fine will be assessed for each day that the violation continues, and that means compliance will mean obtaining the required vegetation removal permit. Or your irreparable it applies to both B6 and F2, is that?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. For the violations of section 66-161B6 and 66-161F2, I'll find based on the testimony of Sergeant Pylon that those violations, based on what was done to the trees and what's shown in the photographs, that those violations are irreparable, irreversible in nature due to the fact that the trees were hat racked and cut in a manner that they will not, you cannot undo that. So I will assess a one-time fine in the amount of $2,500 for that irreparable, irreversible violation. And because I found that the respondent in violation of the town's code, I will assess the town's administrative costs for today's hearing in the amount of $177.44 payable within 30 days.
Is it 177 or is it 170?
I'm sorry, 174.
Yeah, thank you.
44, thank you. The light is right on the number. All right, again, those administrative costs are in the amount of 174.44. Thank you for the correction. All right, anything further?
Nothing further.
Or, all right, with that, I'll adjourn at 10:19.